Coach, it's been mentioned that you guys only have one touchdown pass. I don't think South Florida has one. Do you kind of know what they're going to do, what their MO is, and also kind of pressure to stop them so they don't run a bunch of clock on you?
Yeah, they run the football. They have a really good running game. I think they do a great job. They're probably one of the best offensive line we've faced, all season. Guys are big up front, very athletic. Have really good running backs. Both you have a bigger guy in Zero who can get downhill quickly. That packs, he's around about 225, 230. Then they have number 21 scat back type guy that once he hits a hole, he can get it. And quarterback, we got another running quarterback again this week. So they do a great job with schematics, with running some quarterback run game as well as just normal tendencies of your true zone read and things of that nature with the backs breaking some tackles. So we got to do a better job this week of what we didn't do in the second half and tackle. And limiting big explosive plays, and especially in the run game. We can't have that, and we'll get that fixed this week.
Brian, I guess when you look at, like you mentioned, obviously another running quarterback, when you look at, Gary compared to maybe some other ones you face, how does he kind of stack up, or who do you look at to maybe kind of get a little more preparation with those other quarterbacks?
Well, I think he's similar to, Jordan Travis in a way. Maybe not as fast. He's a little bit bigger. He will try to, lower his shoulder on you, as opposed to, some quarterbacks may want to get down or get out of bounds. He wants to bring the boom to the defense, but he's a physical runner. Does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield if he does scramble to run the football. But I think the coordinator Travis has done a really good job of getting him involved in the run game, especially these last couple of games. So we got to do a great job of gang tackling him and doing a great job of defending the run.
Brian, Scott talked about their offensive line being maybe the best that you guys have seen this year. How good are they up front, and what kind of challenge, when they try to possess the ball with a good offensive line that does create challenges?
They are. They're very athletic. That's one thing I see. They move really well, not only in the run game but in the passing game as well. They don't give up a whole lot of sacks. And you kind of attribute that a little bit to they're getting the ball out really, really quickly in the passing game. And so sometimes the D-line, they're not able to get there. But it does create a challenge for us up front to just make sure we're where we need to be, and playing a little bit more physical game, this coming up week with those guys running the football as well as they do. So hopefully we'll be able to we'll meet the challenge, and I think we will. Well, I know we will. And so we'll be ready come on Saturday.
Brian, you mentioned the tackling, especially in the run game. Was it similar to the first game where you thought guys were in the right positions but couldn't make the plays, or was this more of like a fit issue from this game?
Absolutely. I think it was just guys, we were there. Everybody see the film, and, our guys were there, and we just missed some tackles. And I attribute that to we just got to pull our trigger. We're right there. Just go ahead and pull your trigger. And that's what we emphasize on Sunday again. Just say, hey, these are the same calls and the same fits that you had in the first half or even early in the third quarter. Let's just go ahead and pull your trigger and fit. And the guys, they saw it on film, and they were excited that it wasn't as bad as we thought it would be schematically or whatnot. It was just guys that were there, and we just didn't fit and make the tackle. So we had a really good practice on Sunday, and we'll be ready to roll this week.
Kind of sticking on that theme, obviously that was a problem in game one. How do you explain it kind of raising its head again in game three when they already went through this humbling experience?
Yeah, you really don't know. I don't know if it's a little bit because the game got a little tight, in the fourth quarter, to where we were not going in there to make the play, but not going in there not to give up a big play, in the run game. And I think that may have been a little part of it too. Game got a little tight, and so that's why I told the guys, man, you guys just got to cut loose and play. Don't worry about mistakes. Just play fast, and when you play fast, you kind of clean up some of the mistakes when you're playing fast and you're pulling your trigger. And I think that had a little bit to do with it.
Coach has mentioned a couple of times the big play, that 2nd and 14 when they get the long pass. How many players kind of messed up on that play? Is it one or two guys? Is it a bunch of guys? Or
Well, it really was just, when you look at it, we just got to, continue to practice those situations when it's, kind of a one-man route, kind of two-man route type deals when you're playing a cover two concept. and just making sure that our depth is correct at the safety position. As well as, we just got to do a better job when we see pass in a clouded concept that, we will get hands on that receiver and help that safety out from a corner standpoint as well. But you kind of want to be in that coverage for that route. But we just didn't execute, and we'll put those guys in more situations like that so they can execute on game day.
Sort of along that same line, it was Coach was mentioning earlier, you had, I think, 10 tackles for loss against a team that had very few before, but also gave up a good number of big plays.
Yes.
Is there a common thread on the big plays, whether it is missed assignments, confusion, missed tackles? I'm sure a little of all, but is there a common thread there at all?
I think some of it is just, when you look at early on in the game, I think some of it is just eye control. The jitters of the game, the very beginning of the game, we had some eye control discipline actions that, gave up a couple big plays. And then I think some of it is, just some of the technique that some of our guys wasn't playing as well. And we getting back to the fundamentals again today and on Sunday, just playing the correct technique. But I don't think it's confusion because the guys, they wasn't confused. They were where they needed to be on some of those plays. It was just at times the quarterback threw it perfectly. I mean, on that post ball, that was a perfectly thrown ball. On the bang eight on Dredd, it was a perfectly thrown ball. The touchdown on the third down play in the back corner of the end zone, that was a perfectly thrown ball, So give credit to those guys. They made some plays, and we were there. And we just got to make sure we make more plays this week than they make on Saturday.
Brian, when going back and looking at the film from Friday, why do you think it was that in that first quarter the secondary seemed to struggle a little bit through the air against Travis and then late in that fourth quarter against Rodemaker?
Well, I think first on, that's what I was saying earlier, is just some of the eye control discipline, actions. If I have a tight end, I have the tight end, and I think later on in the game, I think he made the backup quarterback came in and completed 6 balls, which was, the deep post ball, the little slant, the bang eight twice, and then the fade ball. It was more so just, a couple of times we were there and just didn't make the play. I think it's just, we just got to execute. We just got to execute better, and we got to put those guys in situations in practice to make sure that they feel more comfortable in the game day to execute a little bit better. Good. All right, appreciate it.